Yo, everybody, welcome to episode 1 of the Main Frequency. I am your co-host, Siigari, and with me, we have Seiden over here. Seiden, why don't you say hey?
Hey.
All right, rock on. So we're going to have an awesome podcast. This is the very first episode, so we're really excited. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. And some of you people might be wondering, well, what is the Main Frequency, Siigari and Seiden? We don't even know who you are. Well, let me introduce the podcast. The Main Frequency is a podcast about the upcoming mobile game, Second Galaxy. And we've got a lot of people really excited about this game. We've got a really active, vibrant community of individuals from all across the world to play the handheld mobile game, Second Galaxy. And it has been in development for quite a while, actually. They just had their beta last month. Started when, the 4th or the 5th, I think? And ended the 4th of August, which was actually the day that I registered my account. Yay! So I haven't gotten to play the beta yet. Did you get to play the beta, Seiden?
No, I sadly didn't get to play the beta. I found the game about 3 days after the beta ended.
Oh man, yeah, that's the pits. It sucks. You get this awesome game that you want to play and you want to see it, and then you jump into the channel, the Discord, the Facebook, the Reddit. Hey guys, I want to join you, and flatline. Like, game's not up yet. We just ended beta.
Game's not up. Been released in a couple of weeks.
I know, it's terrible. So, anyway, we're hoping that we have this podcast once a week for a while and see how it goes. Like I said, we've got a lot of topics to talk about. Let's do introductions. So, Seiden, tell us a bit about yourself, like where you're from, maybe what kind of games you've played before, and yeah, let's start with that.
Okay, so I'm from the U.S. I live in Maryland. I generally play some RPGs, a lot of RPGs. I've played EVE Online before, which is extremely similar to Second Galaxy.
Just like EVE.
Just like EVE.
Episode 1, just like EVE. Trust me, we'll be hearing this all day.
Yeah. Also, played Dota for a long time. Was really into MOBAs a couple years ago.
MOBAs, it's good stuff. I definitely have my fair share of League of Legends. I tried Dota once, actually. And let me tell you how it went. I was playing Windrunner, and something happened. I can't even remember what happened, but there was this orb of light that was coming at me, and I freaked out. So I started running back to base. I ran back to base from the top left lane all the way down, and then I got back there, and you know what it did? It hit me, and it healed me. So I ran all the way from top lane, all the way out of position, and it was the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I just realized that... Okay, thank you for that. Sorry, we had an audio issue.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a terrible way to start with an audio issue.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, well, we'll just play it off. We'll
make up for it.
Make up
for it with the rest of the stream.
All right, so RPGs, MOBAs, sounds like a pretty good combination. You played a little EVE, yeah?
Yeah, had about 3 years of experience in EVE. Played around in nullsec a lot.
Major corps or alliances?
Yeah, I was part of the Explicit Alliance, which was a part of the much bigger and very well-known DCU, Drone Control Unit, which actually I hear disbanded recently.
Yeah, they
dissolved.
Drone regions are a whole mess. Very exciting. All right, very cool. Anything else that you want to add?
Not really. Just that I'm super hyped for Second Galaxy because I loved EVE, but it was too much of a commitment and not nearly as accessible. So Second Galaxy is looking absolutely awesome.
Oh man! All right, great. Well, awesome, Seiden. Welcome to the stream. We're glad to have you. I'm Siigari. Some of you guys might know me because we're actually hosting this first stream on my home channel. I am a gamer. I've been a gamer my whole life. I live in Portland, Oregon, and let's see. I have played so many games. I've played so many games, dude. I mean, here we go with the list. Like, okay, so it started out with space games because I love space, right? So my first real well, okay, my first game was Scorched Earth, but we're not going to go through the whole thing. So, I mean, I played a lot of games, but I played Humongous Cave and then Scorched Earth. This is like when I was a kid. And then I got into a game called Descent, which was pretty awesome. Descent's like a 3D 6 Degrees of Freedom kind of game where you go through mines and you shoot robots and you blow things up, and it's really spacey and explosions, and it's super awesome. And then I got into Total Annihilation, and then kind of went into Descent Free Space, which is more open space game and stuff like that. Went to Homeworld, played the whole Homeworld saga. That game is amazing. Oh my gosh, they do so many things with that game. The lore is so strong. It's a very story-driven game, and I had a lot of fun playing through it, just kind of seeing the remnants of Carrick and what happens to everybody that's like moving away. It was a really good game. I haven't played a lot of... It was actually kind of interesting now that I think about it. After Homeworld, I stopped playing lore games. I just lost interest. I just wanted to shoot stuff. So then I got into EVE Online, and that would have been in like 2004, 2005. And
so pretty early on.
Yeah, I was back around when like Band of Brothers and ASCN and all the other groups were like forming up, and we had a lot of fun. I played EVE for over a decade, founded Push Industries, and am now the leader of the corporation Weave, which is a very large 300-member single corporation, no alliance. We're just casual play, do whatever you want sort of thing. So, yeah, that's PC gaming. Mobile gaming. Oh boy, should we open that can of worms? So much mobile gaming. King's Raid, Epic 7, Spirit Stones was my first gacha that I played in like 2011, and it was just this card game. And it was all right. It was a lot of fun. I spent way too much money on it though, and thus begun the gacha addiction. I mean, I've played dozens of games. Azure Lane,
terrible addiction.
It is. So I got out of.
Get the waifus.
Yeah, gotta get the waifus.
Get the waifus, man.
But I got out of it. I snapped out of it, and now here I am, playing a mobile game that is not a gacha. So yeah.
Yes, it's incredible.
I know, right? All right.
I had the gacha disease for a little while.
Oh no. Well, let's undisease. Yes. We're gonna detox from gachas now, guys. And we're gonna talk about Second Galaxy. So let's begin with an overview of the company. So
basically back into gachas.
Back into gachas. Yeah. Okay. What happened? That lasted 5 seconds. Addiction's a powerful drug. We've got Xiwen Games, and let's show you guys their website here. So Xiwen Games made Langrisser. Some of you guys might know of Langrisser. Who here knows of Langrisser? And I'm just imagining everybody raising their hand, because Langrisser, if you play mobile games, you know what it is. It's a mobile gacha that apparently people are saying really super generous. There's a lot of good art, and the gameplay is pretty well animated from what I understand. Now, interestingly, I haven't played Langrisser. Have you?
No, I actually haven't, but I have known a lot of people who've played it, so I've had a lot of immersion into it on the various Discord servers I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, I never got into it, but we can see we're looking at the website right now, and you can definitely see the hot anime waifus, you know what I mean? No,
I love them.
Not lewd at all. Let's take a look at, so this is it. Xiwen Game Limited. So this company, let's see if they can't click any of the links at the bottom here that take you to their website. XiwenGame.com leads us to, drumroll please, a Chinese website. So Xiwen Games is a Chinese developer, and there's Second Galaxy. Look at that. Oh, we can translate it though and read broken English. So Second Galaxy, it looks like they have, oh, what's this? They have a few games that I've never even heard of. So I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce some of these Chinese words, because I would be shunned by an entire continent. So we're just going to let that go. But they've got like 8 games in their portfolio, it looks like here, and Second Galaxy is coming up. So very good. So while we were I should say, while I was getting interested in this game, I made a post on the Langrisser subreddit. And the post goes something like this. Yo, I heard that the company that developed or published your game, because I wasn't sure, is about to release a mobile game called Second Galaxy, and I'd like to know a little bit about the company and what you guys think of it. And I told him that I'm an old gacha player. I've got, just tell me about what you think of the company. And I got a lot of, oh yeah, Langrisser best game ever posts. And it's like, okay, thanks. That's not helpful. But I did get some good posts. And one of these posts here, we've got Wyvener on Reddit in the subreddit Langrisser said, I played Final Fantasy Brave Exvius for years, and over time, several other gacha games like Summoner's War, Fire Emblem, Dead Man's Cross, Dragalia, etc. I had never heard of Langrisser until about a week before it came out, but since the opening minutes of release, I haven't played anything else. This post was 6 days ago, so he's been playing it for like a solid year. I quit pretty much all the other games I was playing for this, and it's been awesome for the entire first 6 months. It's fairly similar to Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of my favorite games. I never played Final Fantasy Tactics either. So good praise from that guy. And it seems like, so that I decided to pull that post up because he was hyped about it. And that's good. I think that when people are excited about a game, it gets infectious and they want to talk about it, and then their friends want to talk about it. And that's good. We've got another post here from 0% win rate. He said, you might not hear bad things from players here since Global has a very small player base, and people who take the trouble to actually grab and play this game are a big fan of the genre to begin with. Gameplay or strategy is very well designed, but the quality of life aspects such as daily login, grind, progress speed, skip feature, etc. is quite lacking. That it requires a lot of investment to actually progress in the game, especially after a certain point. And for that reason, the game is losing quite a few veteran players in the Japanese server, which has a far larger number of players or revenue than Global. Okay, so let's take a quick second and talk about that post, because that is exactly the kind of post that I was looking for. Not hoping for, but it gave us a very good look into a Chinese developer releasing a game to a global market, and he's saying that the quality of life stuff isn't there. It's leaking veterans. The game has been out for, what, a year? Has it been out for a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, over a year, I think, by now.
Okay, so a year for a mobile game leaking vets? I don't know if that's normal. I played quite a few mobile games, especially gachas, and you've got Summoner's War, and you've got Azure Lane, Epic 7. I mean, these are some of the really big ones, the high hitters up in the App Store. And let me tell you, they're still going strong, really strong, and their community shows no signs of letting go either. So there's something there, and I'm hoping that they bridge that quality of life gap, because an important part of mobile gaming is polish. Polish things like making sure the font is readable and it's not like some Unicode ugliness that just looked like it was ripped from your system, or making sure that the little things are taken care of. Loading screens don't suck. And when you go between two places, there's enough stuff in the middle to look at, and it's not just like a desolate wasteland. Those are quality of life. And then there's the quality of life that involves the actual gameplay. Things like stacking items, or if you replace an item with something, does the item disappear or does it go back in your inventory? And create more grind, sort of. So those quality of life things are really important. We haven't seen a game like this yet in mobile, like Second Galaxy. It's like Eve, right?
Just like Eve.
Just like Eve. So how do you take a game like Eve, put it into a mobile format, and not have it suck with all the microtransactions that come from a game that is mobile? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah. The beta was it had absolutely amazing reviews, and pretty much everyone who played the beta absolutely adored it. But the one thing about the beta is they did not have microtransactions. They didn't
There were
even show
no microtransactions.
Yeah, and they didn't even show what microtransactions there would be in the future. So that does kind of intimidate me a little. But I think if they do hold back on the microtransactions and not make it ridiculously pay to win, I think it's going to be an incredible game and be top on the App Store for a very long time.
I agree with you, and I hope that's where we're going. I mean, that's all I can do is hope, right? So we've got here, scrolling down, aside from pulling desired units, everything else is grindable, including raising the star level. So units in mobile games or most gachas have star levels, and you start with a 1 star, which are the common units, and then you get 2 stars, which are maybe like uncommon or rare, 3 star, which would be like super rare or epic or something, and then you get to the 4 and 5 and 6 star, which are like super rare, super rare, and then ultra rare, which are like the big money. So the only things that aren't cosmetic, only wait, what? Everything else is grindable. The only thing that aren't cosmetic, that aren't, are cosmetic skins. So they're saying cosmetics can only be purchased. You can't grind for cosmetics, and that is to move you to the cash shop to buy pretty skins for your characters.
And in my opinion, that's a really good system.
Cosmetic
Probably
only.
the best microtransaction system.
Okay, so I don't want to digress too far, but I believe that cosmetic only is becoming a term that is going to give me some whiplash. Like, I hear it and people are like, oh my gosh, new game coming out, microtransactions, cosmetic only. No, you can't have everything always be cosmetic only. Maybe if it's a PC game like Fortnite or
Dota 2 managed it extremely well.
Or Dota 2, you could get like the mounts and things, I understood. Or you could get like you could get shoulders and plates and sets of armor for your character that were really cool. And some you could even sell on the market, right? The Steam market.
Yeah, you can. One of the biggest things that probably attracted people to buying Dota cosmetics was the fact that after you are bored of a set skin, you could just sell it on the Steam market and get money out of it and buy more. So there are definitely cosmetic only systems that work, but I doubt we are going to see a lot of those in mobile games.
Yeah. Now thinking about a game like Second Galaxy. All right, cool. I got a ship skin, but the game is on a screen that's 6 inches large, and you're looking at ship skins. I don't think so, unless there are tons of particle effects. And let me tell you about particle effects, just like Eve. Eve has got some really great skins. Eve Online, it's a game by CCP Games, and they're a company in Iceland. And they have ways that you can purchase ship skins. So you got your spaceship, and you can get all these really cool skins for it. And some of the newer skins have really great particle effects. Like I've got a Lava Core Confessor. It is so cool. It's got like this little... So you've got the top of the ship, and then at the top of the ship, there's this little like heat vent. And this heat vent is just like emitting smoke and particles and looks like it's on fire. It's so cool. Back to Gilded Criff's post. The game is free to play friendly IMO, in my opinion, and I'm someone who has spent a few hundred on it. All right. You just have to be willing to invest in the long haul of improving your units. Okay, so let's talk about that. And that, I think, ties directly into a game just like Eve.
Yes.
We've got the long haul. So those of you that are here at the podcast and have played EVE Online understand what the long haul really means. Skills that take months to complete these skills. I remember when
Operation 5.
I remember when I finished Titan 5. I finished Galente Titan 5. That was a 2.5 month skill. It was not an easy skill to complete, and I had attributed out my character. I mean, I've been playing Eve for 15 years, so you have to understand there's only so much you can do to min-max once you get to a certain point, and then you just have to wait. We're not talking about skill injectors, by the way. This was a little bit before skill injectors, okay? This was like right after Titans came out, and I needed a Titan, so I bought the book and trained it, and my jaw dropped to the floor when I saw it was like a 14 rank multiplier, and I queued it up day one, or no, level 1 was like 8 hours. So already I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Usually level 1 skills are like a few minutes, maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And then level 2 was like a day and a half. Level 3 was like 5 days. Level 4 was 3 weeks or something. And then level 5 was 2.5 months. And I was just like, okay, so there goes 3 months of my life. I'm just, it was terrible. But I got the skill. I got a Titan and happy days. So that long haul, okay, players that play a mobile game aren't going to sit around for 3 months to train one skill. They're just not, dude. Nothing in my brain says that mobile gamer Joe Average is going to download this game. Oh boy, I can't wait to get the biggest ship. I want a capital ship. 6 years later, they have one. Like, that's just not how you play mobile games. It's gonna so we already know that there is going to be some monetization for purchasing ship skills. That worries me a little bit, but that's not like my biggest worry, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah. And in the beta, we have seen that you pay credits, which is just one of the
Credits
types
are
of
like
in-game money.
the silver currency. Yeah, that's the non
it's the most common currency.
Okay.
And you pay that to level up skills, but also you have an experience level, like you would in a normal RPG.
Okay.
And
so you level up, like you start the game at level 1 and then you get you kill some stuff and you get experience. You go to level 2. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and you can train skills at, like, you have example to train, say, a skill that increases your speed.
Mm-hmm.
You can train it at level 3, level 7, level 11, and all the skills work that way. They take a level requirement and a certain amount of credits.
Okay.
And apparently there's a maximum on, like, an experience gain per day or level gain per day or skill gain per day. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
They cap it?
Yeah, they cap it some way. Now, I didn't play the beta, so I'm not completely sure how that works, but I know there's some sort of cap on a gain per day.
Wait, Seiden, you're telling me that if I want to play free to play, I can only make so much experience in a day, but if I want to pay, I can get it immediately?
I'm not sure about that because the beta didn't have microtransactions, but I do think there might be a system like a VIP system where
no VIP.
VIP1. Yeah, I honestly hate VIP systems, but I could see it happening that, like, VIP1 can say gain 5% extra XP or whatever they're capping. I could see a system like that, but I don't know if they'll do that.
I hope not. We looked at some of the shots of the UI and I didn't see any trace of a VIP system. Like, none at all. So I'm optimistic that that's not going to happen. All right,
Langrisser didn't have a VIP system either.
Yeah, I knew that too. That was actually something that has saved me from losing sleep. Because I've heard of Langrisser and I asked, oh, it was a VIP game? Because strangely, I liked VIP games for a while. I played some weird ones. And hey, don't judge. And
too late.
Yeah, it's okay. Having a VIP system would just ruin it for me because this is not the kind of game that I want a VIP system in. I want a VIP game.
Yeah.
I want a VIP system in a game that I'm going to play for like an hour and then like suck it, losers, and then get off. All right. So his last sentence here, even if you're willing to spend, there's still a grind, but a lot more enjoyable of grind. Like, okay, he's a fanboy. All right. And then we'll take one more here. I scrolled down here. Yes, this one. Okay. So this guy, TOS Player 99, gave us some overview of the pros and cons, and we'll just tap on a few of the ones that I thought were interesting. Fun strategy game, leaves you with a lot of options to tackle a battle and features many different heroes. Okay, that's awesome, because in a space game just like Eve, I want options. I do not want rock, paper, scissors to be the way to play. And if rock, paper, scissors is the way that it's going to be, I'm going to be really depressed because I want to be able to be rock that can not only smash scissors, but can also figure out a way to turn paper into a shitty pair of scissors and smash that too. But can we do it? Can we do it? That is the question. There are frequent updates of either new content or even content, new heroes, and quality of life changes. All right.
Yeah.
Are you hearing that? Frequent updates.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's, like, never happens.
That never happens. And this game is how old?
And
a year.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing in any mobile game.
But
just because of
yeah,
how short their attention spans are.
That's right. That's right. But he didn't gloss over the fact that there are new heroes and quality of life changes. He made sure that you notice there are new things that are big and there are small things that are being tackled. Quality of life changes, the small things that are really important because it keeps those players from leaking. But then that guy said that veterans were leaking, so I mean we'll figure it out. We've got new content, event content. That's good. We'll see how it washes out in Second Galaxy. I mean, I'm excited for it. Some of the this game offers a legit PC client, so you don't have to burn your mobile phone. Okay, so we have heard that there is going to be a PC client for Second Galaxy. Yay!
Yeah,
a legit PC client. Oh my gosh, I might actually turn in Langrisser. I try out Langrisser. I like playing mobile games from a PC. When I played Azure Lane, I managed to hook up my Nintendo Switch controller and play the game. Like I mapped all the joy controls and stuff like that, and I played the game with my controller. And whenever I backed out of a fight, I had to use a mouse to figure out where I was going on the screen. Mm-hmm. But it was amazing, and it felt good because it felt like a little arcade game.
That sounds really fun.
It was fun. It was like 1943, except with cute anime waifus and a lot less bullet hell. I mean, there was some bullet hell in Azure Lane, but it wasn't like Toho or something insanity.
Oh gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
So PC client, that's awesome. That's going to save so many people. It's also going to give the at-home clickers a whole bunch of good time because people that are interested in games just like Eve would like to be able to play the game from their computer. You can take it from me. I have installed Remote Desktop on my phone, and when I try to play Eve through my phone, it just doesn't quite work. And I promise you, I am not undocking anything that I want to lose ever on my phone. I use my phone to check my mail and to do industry jobs and basically stay docked, and that's it. I think one time ever, a long time ago, back in 2011 when the candy bar phone format just had come out, the smartphones, I downloaded a program called Phone My PC, and I logged into Eve, and I was so happy, and I went into A Belt in Mind. And honestly, it sucked because it was 4 or 5 frames per second, and there was nothing that I could actually do over, what was it? It might have been LTE. I think it might have been 3G back then. It was ancient history. So anyway, with a legit PC client now, you guys can have the portable version that is designed for your phone, and then you can have a PC version that might even be reworked to work better on PC. Maybe a scaled UI or something.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if this PC client that we're talking about is a basically just BlueStacks or Nox.
Oh yeah, like an emulator with a PC wrapper.
Yeah,
right.
They say they have a quote dedicated PC client, but it's actually just
a port.
BlueStacks.
Right.
I actually saw that with another game that I played. So I'm not sure if we're talking about that. And if we're talking about that, that's just kind of eh. But if we're actually talking about a dedicated client built not on an emulator, that could be seriously incredible.
I think so. I think that's huge. And part of the reason that I have struggled in the past, I have 5 emulators installed on my computer. Okay? I have BlueStacks, Mimu, Nox, and I've got one other one, but now I can't remember the name of it because I installed it once and tried something with it. Anyway, so I've got a whole bunch of emulators, right? And I feel like I have to have all these emulators because each emulator works for a certain game.
Yeah.
Perfectly. And for example, BlueStacks runs everything flawlessly but has really crappy controller support. Mumu has amazing controller support but can be chuggy for some certain games. Nox has really serious rendering problems, but it runs really well if you give it a lot of RAM and computer slowdowns in other areas. And Mimu I actually didn't like. I ran Mimu before I found Mumu. which I'm not a cow, I promise.
Me moo moo moo.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the cons of this guy's post, and then we're gonna wrap up this segment here. Cons, super grindy. Okay, well, I think just like Eve. I mean, you know, I always come to this point in life. Life is a grind.
Life is grind.
Life is grindy.
Life is also pay to win.
Life is pay to win, but we're not talking about pay to win right now. Life is grindy. So let's talk about a game just called Eve. And people always talk to me in Eve. People always talk to me, hey, Sig, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm just grinding. What? You just say that every day. Well, yeah, I'm doing it. And he's like, well, what are you doing today? Okay, well, I'm doing exploration. You're grinding exploration? Yeah. I warp to the anomaly. I shoot the stuff. I go find another one. That's grinding. Oh, okay. Are you doing PvP? Yep. Are you grinding? Yep. How are you grinding PvP? Those are players. It's real interaction with other people. Okay, well, I had to go through a gate and then search for targets. Did you find any? Nope.
Sit and wait for 8 hours.
Exactly. So
hurry up and wait.
That's right. So everything is a grind. Mining is a grind. PvP is a grind. Exploration is a grind. Industry is a grind. It's all a grind. Just like real life is a grind, especially when you're in bed with your lover. Pay to win is still in this gacha game. While it is free to play friendly. Pay to win is still, let me talk, is still in this gacha game. While it is free to play friendly, you can still run dry because of bad luck. Okay, so let's talk about this game really quick. Compared to this, what is pay to win going to look like? What is real pay to win that is going to get the ire of mobile gamers that like games just like Eve? What is it got to be to put people in the rafters and have them screaming bloody murder?
Drop $10,000 and immediately get a Titan.
Okay, well, that's pretty pay to win. What are some smaller, more innocuous, seemingly innocuous ways that could be pay to win down the line that just kind of,
Definitely increasing the cap, like I was talking about earlier.
The experience
cap. Skill cap or experience cap or whatever it is. That's going to really make people mad in the end. Because especially on server launches, a 5% or 10% or 15% difference can really be massive.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be ending up with people that if one has, say, a 20% higher gain a week in, you could give them both the same ship with the same fit and everything, and the one with the higher gain would be twice as strong. And people would really not be liking that, especially because PvP is going to be a big focus in this game.
Yeah,
even though there are a lot of other options.
I think that they will. I think they know that they'd be shooting themselves in the foot if they put aggressive pay to win in the game.
Yeah.
What's a all right? So since we're talking about strategy, long term games, Clash of Clans, right? That's the game. Everybody, we have a lot of people in our Discord. And I run the Northwest Corporation, and Seiden here is also in Northwest for Second Galaxy, and we've had a lot of people come into the corporation. We have a little application, and it says, well, what other mobile games have you played? Clash of Clans, 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 Astronest, and Nova Empire. We have a whole bunch of Nova Empire people. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But Clash of Clans always comes up. I can't stand that game. Like, I can't stand hearing about it. I can't stand playing it, and I uninstalled it 10 minutes after I installed it because it didn't catch my interest. So what Clash of Clans is, I guess what I've heard it to be is it's a strategy game where you build a city and then you go to war with other people. Except it's not war. It's a game of whack-a-mole. So you find the weakest mole that pops his little head up across, it flashes across your screen. Would you like to start a fight with blah, blah, blah? He's level 2 and he's been playing the game for 5 years. Whack. Would you like to start a fight with other guy, 581, and he's been playing the game for 6 months and he paid $50,000? No, I'm going to pass. That one's going to go back into the hole. Next question, Alex. Like, you can't, it's pay to win. It is pay to win. If you spend money on that game, you are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And that is what we don't want in Second Galaxy. We don't want corporations and alliances becoming these unstoppable forces, of lack of a better word, just you go and attack them with your corporation and you get melted, and then you go again with another corporation, then they get melted, and it's just can't do that. So as long as, I think what we're trying to say here is, as long as there's no direct advantage in PvP, Zilong, you have our blessing.
Yeah.
Last point. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. One of the things that I think makes EVE Online so charming is that
EVE Online charming. You're hilarious.
Yeah, I know. But like, if you get together 500 people, yeah, you can take down a ship that's worth like $500 in real life.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And it's just so nice that quantity can beat quality if you have enough of it. And that's one of the things that mobile games really never have.
But charming?
Charming.
Okay.
Charming.
Well,
yes.
We'll have to send that. We'll have to send that to vote.
Okay.
All right. Story
Make
is
a straw poll for that.
There you go. Story is super lame and cringe, but like I said, I haven't cared about lore. Does anybody here that plays this game care about lore? And nobody raised their hand. Okay, let's move on really quick here. We're gonna take a quick look at some Langrisser gameplay. I'm just gonna skip through this really quick so we can see the quality of product that Xelon has put out in the past. And we're just gonna hit play. Those of you guys that are listening on your phones or at work or what have you, basically right now what we're seeing a character on a dragon, and they're hovering over a map, and it looks like they are selecting the next stage. And there's a character here who's animated, standing idle. And there's a guy standing idle. The guy has a lot more armor. That guy has a lot more armor than that girl did, though. I noticed that.
Don't you know about the exposure factor?
Oh my gosh!
The higher the exposure, the higher the defense.
How does she defend herself?
How this works.
Oh wow, we're gonna skip through a little bit. Okay, so this looks like a grid format game, where the kind of and honestly, so I can tell already that this is on an emulator. This is not a. Nope, it was an emulator because you can see the guy's mouse moving around on the screen. The graphics quality is just emulator quality. You just know. We're skipping through a little bit here. Battle is about to begin. Okay, it looks like a lot of tiles and moving. Okay, so yeah, Langrisser. It's cute. It looks polished. It's got a lot of bright colors. Very engaging. Like, I could watch this for an hour and probably be bored to death. Okay. So now let's move on to Second Galaxy, and we'll take a quick moment and we will play the official Second Galaxy trailer, everybody. Got some ships getting attacked here, a lot of loud music. That looks really good at 5 frames per second there. I could feel them flipping through the cards. And then there's a big giant clash. There was like 100 ships on both sides, and the computer didn't crash. Yeah. They actually managed to render that whole fight. Oh my gosh, how did they do it?
That's pretty impressive.
That was impressive. They rendered the whole fight. So it looks good. And we pulled up a video of about 2 hours of 25 minutes of gameplay, I'm sorry. And the main screen looks wonderful. I think it's a cinematic, actually.
Yeah.
That looks like a cinematic, but that looks like a good cinematic. It doesn't look too gaudy. It doesn't look like, oh man, ships flying around, shooting each other. The cinematics in this game are good?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you think of that guy? Those guys look like movie stars.
I'd prefer anime waifus, to be honest.
Yeah, we should really mod this game. We need modders ASAP.
Oh, yeah.
If you would like to mod, please contact Siigari at mainfrequency.com. Paul, don't send anything to that email, please. I don't know our main frequency. All right, so we've got a few different races in this game. It looks like the Neo Europa. I don't even remember. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna pretend that I remember the names of all of them, but this guy's making a character. Chapter 1. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, and then a loading screen. Well, okay, loading screen at the very beginning of the game. I can get behind that. All right, so approaching target, shipwreck. Wow, this looks just like Eve. Hey, look, that's Aura. No, we can't call her Aura.
Oh, shipboard AI.
Oh, what? No. What is it? That shipboard AI, aka Aura Light. Yeah, exactly. Now, I've heard videos where she has a voice, though, and she sounds more like the X series computer with like the warbly double over voice effect. She kind of sounds like this, and it's really interesting. So anyway, yeah, like that. Oh, there was the voice. Oh, I talked over it. Hold on a second here. We'll back it up.
Target engaged.
Yeah, except it sounds like a low resolution version that went through like a compression filter way too many. It sounds like that file got saved like 50 times. It doesn't sound good necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get through. Oh, pirate ambushers showed up. Uh-oh. And then they go to a cutscene. Oh, a cutscene in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
Pirate pilot,
Wow.
take him down. And I couldn't read the rest
Asteroids are
because that happened in
beautiful.
2 seconds. Yeah. So actually, something that I noticed about this game after watching a bunch of videos is this game looks kind of like Eve did back when it came out. And for a mobile game, that is acceptable.
Yeah.
The quality is good enough that you have some nice quality ships. The surrounding atmosphere is not too overloading, but it's not like you're looking at square boxes everywhere. I mean, the asteroids have got a good shape for the most part. I mean, did you ever play Freelancer?
No.
No, Freelancer was a pretty good game. It was kind of a third-person shoot 'em up. This reminds me a little bit of Freelancer right here. This scene. But
Just looks like EVE on low graphics to me.
it looks like EVE on low graphics, but the UI is different. So the overview is up in the top left
Yeah.
there.
Definitely a lot simpler.
On.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, simpler is good. This is not spreadsheets in space, actually, just unlike EVE,
Yeah.
which is interesting. You know, in our corporation Discord and also in the official Discord, I have not seen a single murmur of spreadsheets. Knock on wood there that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Okay. Time to go. Talk about spreadsheets.
Yeah,
Okay,
not a
give
good
me a
time to
sec.
talk about spreadsheets. No. Wait, he's pulling one up?
No.
No.
I'm just pinging you with spreadsheets.
Oh, okay, you're pinging me with spreadsheets. Okay, so we've got like the weapon system here. You can install different weapons onto your ship. We're just skipping through here. Oh, the damsel. Wait a second. The
What?
damsel?
Oh, the distressing damsel.
That's
I mean,
ripped
damsel in distress.
straight out of Eve. Oh my gosh, there is
Just
an
like
item.
Eve.
There is an item in Eve called the damsel. Oh
Just like
no.
Eve.
Oh, just like Eve. Okay. That's crazy. Like that's I don't know what to think about that. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's just like Eve.
If you don't think about it.
Okay, we just don't think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the universe. Tell us a little bit about the universe. We kind of scratched the surface there, but yeah, what makes it different than most MMOs, most RPGs? How is the universe in Second Galaxy different?
So, a lot of open world MMORPGs, they are kind of crazy. So you'll either end up with a ton of monsters or whatever just out spawned, and it puts a lot of load on the servers because they have to be running all of this constantly, simultaneously.
And this isn't Tranquility.
Yeah.
This is not Tranquility.
Yeah. So probably the coolest thing about the way that this type of type of universe works is that they can run each separate galaxy, which I believe there are almost 5,000 of them, like 4,900 something. They can run each galaxy separately. So each galaxy is a separate instance. So if there is if there's not much happening in one galaxy, they can basically cut it. They don't have to process everything going on in there.
Okay, so let me get something straight here really quick too. A star system in this game is actually called a galaxy.
As far as I know.
Can we all let out a collective sigh, folks? That's right. Millions of galaxies. Okay, continue.
Huzzah. Okay. So
So they shut them off when they're not in use. Saves on system
yeah.
resources.
And also it's kind of instanced,
Just
which
like
is
Eve.
interesting, just like Eve. So, there are a lot of different locations and types of locations in each galaxy star system. I actually honestly don't know what they're called.
Okay, and these
They're called
locations are locations that you have to travel to via warp, or
yeah,
you
via
walk?
warp drive.
Okay, you warp to them.
Via
Okay.
warp drive. Yeah, it's kind of hard to walk in space. I mean, I guess
Okay,
you could
I meant
manage it
walk
with
like
enough
the
willpower.
slow boating, but okay.
yeah, yeah. So warp drive is basically what you use to get to anywhere farther than a couple kilometers. That's where you're traveling in terms of astronomical units.
Okay, and we can see that he's starting the warp engine here on our video. There
Yeah.
he goes. Ian, it looks like he's warping to a station.
Yeah. So there are a lot of different locations, like mining belts,
Okay.
locations of pirates, I guess it would be. I'm not exactly sure how it works in Second Galaxy,
Okay,
what all the terminology is.
So, Seiden, let's apply this against a traditional MMO. What's different?
So,
What's different? Like, let's take what's an MMO that have you played? Guild Wars, World of Warcraft. Uh-oh.
gosh,
No fantasy games for Seiden.
I haven't.
Guys,
No, I
throw
haven't
potatoes at him.
played any in a while.
Okay.
Haven't played any in a while. Don't remember.
So I'll
Dang
give it a shot.
Okay, cool.
In World of Warcraft, for example, you can walk from place to place, or you can take a griffin or something to go where you want. That would be like warp. But when you get to the area, the difference is that everybody around you shows up on your overview, whereas in WoW, they could be, like 50 yards away, and you might not even see them. But in this game, you see them, so you know that they're around.
In a separate instance.
Right. So, here we go. It popped up the map. So the map
nice.
it shows you the galaxies that you can warp to, and when you warp to a galaxy, you leave the last one behind, and then you're in a new galaxy. So players can find you by saying, "I'm in galaxy 123," and then they go to the 123 galaxy. They jump to the 123 galaxy, and then they're there with you. But I assume that they need to be on a similar grid with you. I'm not sure how the instancing grid system works in this game. I'm hoping that there's a grid system just like Eve. That was just like Eve too. That jump animation was whoa. Yeah. So what we're finding is this game is unique to a lot of maybe fantasy MMO players or players that aren't used to something just like Eve. And we're giving you something just like Eve on the mobile format.
Yes.
Interesting. What about the freedom? Are you restricted? Do you have to fly only your own races, your specializations, or can you do anything?
Yeah, the greatest thing about Eve and this game that is just like Eve is you can be anything. It's not an RPG. You don't select a role to play. You can fly as a soldier going around and blow stuff up. You can go mine. You can do as in Eve what's a logi, which is basically a medic.
Mm-hmm.
There are 5 races actually, and you can fly any of their ships as long as you have the correct skills / certificates, and tons of different weapons and whatever, and you can just equip and fly anything you want, provided you have the core skills beforehand.
Okay.
And yeah, you can get those skills as long as you put in enough time / money on this.
So does this game dig that deep? Are there skills to train for weapons and like capacitor, which would be mana in a fantasy game, and armor and shields? Like, do you have to train those up in this game, or do the ships just get given base stats that scale with your ship research level or however it is?
Yeah, from what I've seen, there are a lot of skills, and they are anything from just you get a buff to your shield capacity, you get a buff to your armor capacity,
And these are for training the skills?
Yeah, for the skills.
Okay.
So you spend credits on these after you've hit a certain prerequisite level.
Okay.
So there aren't nearly as many as in Eve, because in Eve you have literally thousands of skills. But since that was just the beta that I'm referencing, I really hope that will get a lot more skills and more intricate skills in this game.
Fantastic.
Because right now we just have basically missile range, missile damage,
really binary
railgun
stuff.
range, railgun damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't get anything in Eve like with the missiles. They had explosion radius, velocity, max flight speed, max flight time,
exactly,
etc.
There were skills that increase damage, but
Yeah.
that was a slice of the damage pie.
Yeah.
Correct.
I love the complicated calculations in Eve, and I really hope that we'll see a lot of these complicated calculations in this, where your DPS isn't just set by a one gun plus one gun is two. It's a lot more complicated, and you have to deal with range, fall off, accuracy, tracking speed, etc., etc.
Right.
So currently I'm not seeing a lot of that in Second Galaxy, but it definitely has the potential to show that. Also, probably the thing that I'm most fascinated by in Second Galaxy is what are called the tactical components and super devices.
Oh yeah, okay.
So super devices are really the simplest. They're almost like an ult, if you like in a MOBA or like a game like Overwatch or Paladins. It's like an ult. You can see the super device on that.
Yeah, so we've got the Frost ship here, and it says tactical component, adaptive protection field generator. When the super device is fully regenerated, increases all shield resistances by 32% while reducing speed by 27%. So when the super device, which is your ult, is fully recharged, your resistances explode, but your speed drops by a little bit less than what you got in resistance. In Eve, that could be destructive to a speedy ship. Like, that could kill you because people could track you and you would blow up. In this game, we don't know yet. Super device.
Yeah.
It's got the emergency shield boost amplifier with a recharge time of almost 2 minutes, 117 seconds. And I wonder, that time is lit. So I wonder if that is something that you can reduce with skills?
It seems like it. I haven't seen any use of that. I haven't seen that done in the beta, but I mean, if it's lit like that, it's got to be lit for a reason.
Okay, yeah, it might be. Activation of the device gains 392 shield immediately. Afterwards, it restores 31 shield every second later for 7.5 seconds and increases velocity by 23.39%, very specific, for 15 seconds. Okay.
That's another reason why I think it would be upgradable by skills, just because that number is so precise.
Yeah, exactly. So different ships have different super devices.
And different tactical components.
Yeah.
Tactical components personally are my favorite type, just because they're so varied and you can get so many crazy things out of them.
Yeah, I mean,
that'll just completely change the tide of battle, either against you or for you.
Yeah, let's take this ship here. I think this is an ECD ship. I might be wrong.
I think that's an Oracle Empire.
No, this one's not. This is the Mist. I think this is ECD.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it has a tactical component.
Yeah, I can see the blue mark on it.
Well, actually, let's read the tactical component after we read the super device, because this is really interesting interaction.
Yeah.
So the super device is called a Higgs Charge Blaster, and it has a recharge time of 78 seconds, so that's about a minute and change. Shoots a target within 10 kilometers and deals 91 damage in each one of the first 5 out of 6 hits. So do some quick napkin math. That's like almost 500 damage. Almost. It's like
450 damage.
And then the final hit, damage is dealt increases by 300%. So that's an extra 270 damage right there. So wham
Mhm.
on that last hit. Now, here's what's interesting. It synergizes, obviously, because that's what ships are supposed to do, with its tactical component. The Radiant Energy Amplifier grants a stack effect upon each ship destroyed within 20 kilometers. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Upon reaching 3 stacks, increases next weapon or super device damage by 44.9%. Okay.
Yeah, this personally is my favorite tactical component I've seen so far.
That's pretty crazy. That's like ramp, like insane. Now, I've got some niggles with it, though, that I think will be solved upon release. The first one is that, so the super device fires, and it shoots 6 unique shots. Does this carry for the entire super device volley, or only one shot? So do you have to wait until the 6th hit to activate it?
Because of how it's phrased, I would assume that it sounds like it's all of the shots from the super device, because it says upon reaching 3 stacks, increases next weapon or super device damage. So by saying super device damage, I assume that counts the super device as a single entity.
But it's interesting, too, because if you pick it apart the other way, it says, upon reaching 3 stacks, increases next keyword, weapon or super device damage.
That's true. So if it's talking about damage instance,
yes, that's what I was saying.
It could be.
Okay,
But-
it could go either way, really.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking is there are not all super devices deal multiple instances of damage. There are some that just deal a single nuke of damage.
One big nuke, yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't actually seen any that the Radiant Energy Amplifier is paired with one of those, but I would assume that it would just activate this a similar way, and though that rapid volley of 6 shots for the Higgs charged blaster would count just as any other super weapon with a single nuke or super device. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's always ambiguity in games, but yeah, we'll see that on release. And personally, I really want to see how this ship works, because that could be so much fun in fleet PvP.
It really could. If you get a lot of these types of ships, you could, in a fleet fight, really mess up some people. I see this as the maybe not just the Mist, but other ships. I've seen some other ships that have this combination. You could start headshotting people with this thing. Like, you get a whole fleet fight going, and you've got all of your Mist style ships kind of off to the side, and all these, meanwhile, your main fleet's chewing through the enemy, and boom, stack, boom, stack, boom, stack, unload on one target, boom, stack, and then you're just picking people off one after another. This could be huge. And what's even better too is the Mist, at least, is a frigate, so I assume that it's smaller, more difficult to hit, so it can be right up against the enemy, which it has a short range super device. It's 10 kilometers. I haven't played the game yet, but 10 kilometers makes me feel like short range. So
yeah, that is pretty short range
they can
compared to other super devices.
They can be really tight, orbiting this blob of, for lack of a better word, this blob of enemies, and when they need to, when they hit that third tick, boom. And man, that's exciting. We're talking about strategy. The game is not even released yet. So yeah, I think that the super device is not like you. It's not.
Yeah, the one part of this game that's just not like Eve.
That's right. And it's interesting to think, because I guess if we were really trying hard, we could say that Titans, with their super weapons and their lances and their Higgs and stuff like that. But let's be honest, that's
kind
on one type of ship in the game.
Yeah.
In Eve, one type of ship. In Second Galaxy, all the ships have this special ability. And it's kind of interesting, because it does bring a MOBA aspect. Or would MOBA be the right? What kind of game would you classify Overwatch as?
Honestly, I have no idea. That's why I said Overwatch, because I don't know what I would classify it as.
Yeah, Overwatch. I just go to MOBA because that's
Overwatch.
the game that I was comfortable with. But that's cool.
Yeah, with alts.
It's unique. It's fun. It's engaging, and I think that if you can, somebody mentioned that it's random. If you can mix and match the abilities,
Yeah.
that could be so fun. So maybe you can get the radiant energy amplifier on one burst weapon and just do like insane amounts of damage with like this long cooldown.
Yeah.
And then go out of the fight and come back when you're ready again.
Yeah, like I noticed there was one super device that was basically in EVE Online the equivalent of a smart bomb, except it dealt a lot more damage than a smart bomb.
Oh, I saw
So
that.
that could be pretty terrifying with the radiant energy amplifier.
Okay, yeah, here we go. We've got the Graviton
I think that was
EMP generator. This is on the OE, the Oracle Empire, aka Amar.
Amar.
Yeah, pretty much. The contemplative Graviton EMP generator with a 117-second cooldown discharges a shockwave to deal 432 damage to targets within an area. Of 12 kilometers. Wow. And reduces movement of targets afflicted by 15% for 15 seconds. So not only does it deal damage, but it ensnares them to go slower.
Yeah.
Can I get that's a big oof.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I'd love to see, but I kind of doubt it, but I would love to see if the damage would affect the slow. So like a damage percent would affect the slow percent.
Well,
I'm
okay.
not sure. It just depends on how it's calculated.
It
probably
depends.
Doesn't, but that would be really cool.
I think that depends on the ship skill itself. If the skill scales all of the ship attributes, then that would probably just be a natural thing. But I think that the damage is not directly tied to the slow. I think that it's the ship skill.
Yeah.
Like in EVE. Just like EVE, we have ship skills.
Just like EVE.
And for example, the Thorax gets a, what is it? Oh gosh, now I sound stupid.
I don't remember.
It gets a medium hybrid turret damage bonus, and I believe an optimal range bonus. Oh, maybe a rate of fire. I think maybe rate of fire. It's been too long.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets a bonus to two things, and as you raise the Galente Cruiser skill, which it's a Galente Cruiser, it gets 10%, 15%, 25% at the end. So this is probably something similar.
Yeah, one of the really interesting things I noticed is this game does not have ship skills. They have what are called pilot's license, which a pilot's license is the equivalent of a skill, really. It's the authorization to fly a ship like a destroyer, frigate, battle cruiser, etc., etc. And but you don't get it through training. You get it through actually taking a test. So you have to go out and kill pirates or whatever. And from what I've heard, some of them can actually be pretty challenging because you're limited on what ships you can take in.
I'm trying to take in what you just said. So
you take your driver's license test for each ship.
But that doesn't make sense because you have a skill system. So I train the skill.
Separate. So you don't have skills for ships.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Okay, explain this to me. Explain this to everybody listening.
Okay, yeah. So the skills are for really the modules and passive bonuses to the ships, from my understanding. So you'll have skills that increase the damage of, say, the railgun modules you put on your ship, and skills that increase the damage of the shield boosters you put on your ship, and skills that increase the base shield or armor of your ship.
Just like EVE.
Just like EVE. But then, just not like EVE, there are pilot's license tests that you have to have a license to fly your ship instead of a skill. So you start with something like a frigate level 1 license, and each license goes up to level 5, I believe. So with your frigate level 1, you take the test, which is, from all I've seen, just killing pirates, which I assume it would be different for different types of ships. So in mining ship, you would mine to get the next license, or etc. for different ship types, industry, whatever.
So you have to.
I haven't seen that. but I've just seen that for combat ships
So
where you
you-
have to kill things.
You have to do something in game. You can't just log into your phone, train skills, and then be like sitting in a Titan or something.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So you do need a level prerequisite, but you need to take a test. So I think it's kind of interesting
That is
because that's
interesting.
a system similar to Warframe, if anyone's ever played that,
I have
with
dabbled
mastery
Warframe,
tests.
yes. Ah, okay.
So you have to both achieve the prerequisite for the rank and then complete a test that gets you to the rank. Now, one of the things I really like is that if you get destroyed in a license test, you do not lose your ship. So you can take it however much you want. I'm not sure if there's a time lock on how many times you can take the test, like 3 times in a day or whatever.
Okay. That's crazy.
But yeah, so you'll have to have, say, frigate level 4 to be able to take the test for destroyer level 1.
Okay.
So what I haven't actually seen gameplay of that, but it would be interesting because I would assume you'd be fighting a destroyer in a frigate. So essentially be fighting a higher tier enemy.
Mhm.
So
Interesting.
I'd
Interesting.
really like to see some gameplay of that or get some feedback from people who played the beta, because I've just seen little hints of that and I'm interested in that.
It sounds so unique, and I mean, heck yeah, I want something different. I
Yeah.
don't want to play a carbon copy of Eve, even though this game is
Well,
just
I
like
do.
Eve. Well, yeah, and part of the reason that I'm so interested in
Yeah.
this game too is because I work full time. I have maybe like an hour at work where I go on lunch, or maybe I've got some downtime. I can get out my phone, but I can't play Eve on my phone. We talked about this, so I need something that will, scratch that itch. And I'm trying to get away from mobile gotchas, so I want to play something that I'm comfortable with, which is something like Eve. So really excited about this game, and we'll see what happens. Actually, that brings me into our upcoming straw poll. So for those of you guys out there watching and listening, we've got a questionnaire for you guys, and all you need to do is fill this out, and we'll answer this on next. We'll take a look at the answers on next week's stream. And the question is, when do you think the game will be released? And there are 4 options. Okay, the first one is by the 20th of August. The second one,
9 days from now.
9 days from now. Oh gosh, wait, what? Is it the 11th
Yeah.
already?
Yes, it's the 11th.
Okay, Mr. East Coast. All right, the second, by the 10th of September, which is what I think they mused at on Facebook. Facebook is kind of their official communications for the English speaking audience. Sometime in October, because they botched the September launch, and then anytime after that. Also,
If you
perhaps.
look at the results on this, I think you'll see there's a 100% for any time after that.
So when do you
That's
think?
when I voted.
When do you think the game is going to be released?
Really, I think it'll be released sometime mid to late September.
The option that we don't have. Let's make
the option
the
that we don't
sometime in October the mid to late September.
Yeah. So that's my realistic guess, although it could be released before then. Because originally it was scheduled to release, around August 20, around end of August.
Okay.
But they then delayed so the end of the pre-registration period is now September 9th. But so I doubt they'll stick to that, honestly.
I'm thinking about it. Got to answer the question.
Gotta answer.
When do I think it will be released? Okay, so they've been doing a really good job publishing updates almost every other day on their Facebook. And I want to believe that they are using the time. There's a lot of animosity right now about the game not being released and the beta's down and nobody can play it, and it's just a terrible thing. You see it in the Discord all the time, in the public chat, like, when is the game coming out? Can we play the game? Where is
asking, is the game already out?
I know.
Why can't I download it from the store? Why is my APK that I downloaded not working?
And plenty of people are saying, "Oh, the game is getting pushed back 5 minutes every time somebody asks." Because, well, I haven't seen any evidence that that's really a thing with this company yet, and the updates that they're publishing is showing me that they are at least somewhat interested in getting the game out at a clip that they are proposing. Now, we got pushed back once. The initial release date, I believe, was the 13th of August, and that would have been like awesome. Tuesday, that would have been okay.
Yeah.
So great.
Please.
Yeah, but it's not. They pushed it back, and they're saying that it might come out by the 10th of September, which is also a Tuesday, which I hate game companies for releasing games on Tuesday.
Actually, let me clarify that, because there is no official release date. There is not even a projected release date.
I thought they said 10th.
No, the end of pre-registration. They have the pre-registration going through September 10th.
Oh, okay. So we should put sometime in October.
September 9th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 9th, I think, is when the pre-registration period ends. So it makes sense that they would launch it after the pre-registration period ends.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's possible. So I like I said, I'm faithful that they are making progress and that they are releasing steady updates. I believe it will be released shortly after the pre-registration ends, but I don't know when that'll be. I'd say within a week. I would say maybe a week of silence and then launch, because when the pre-registration is over, then they'll have to go do the pre-registration stuff, and they'll be like, okay, how many people do we actually get? And then they'll put it together, and then they'll publish the game saying, hey, game's out next week. So I would say sometime between maybe like the 17th and the 25th of September. So yeah, mid to late September. I mean, that seems fair. But we'll see what all of the listeners and the viewers say. So I am excited for that. I think we've talked about most of the topics that we wanted to touch on. Did we miss anything? Currencies. We didn't talk about currencies. Okay. That's right.
And trading.
Oh, no.
That was okay. Big complaint.
Currency and trading is pretty important, right? So let's tap this nugget of interestingness. There are 4 currencies in this game.
Maybe even more.
4 currencies.
I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, and Stone of Jordan is not a valid currency. Okay, some people probably got that. I hope so.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're young. How old are you?
18.
Oh dear God, I'm twice your age. Actually, twice your age. Wow.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Credits, Iridium, Gala, and blank. I did not know blank could be used as a currency. Okay, everybody, here's my blank.
Well, now it can.
Like it. If anybody knows what that currency is, throw it out there. Credits. So it's the general spending currency. Stuff that you buy in game.
And these cannot be traded between players.
Oh,
you can't give other players credits.
What?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so I can't become the massive magnate that I am in Eve, wealth beyond measure,
Sadly.
And then say, yo, welcome to the game, friend. Here's 5 billion credits. Buy a yacht. Is that not something that we're doing?
Sadly, no, or else you would obviously be giving that money to me.
Okay.
But one thing that I'm actually interested in is bounties.
Oh, wait, like bounties, like player bounties?
Yeah, player bounties. So if those would be, first of all, if those exist, and if they would be paid out in credits. That was just food for thought for me.
Interesting. Okay. So, all right. So now hang on. Let's latch on to this for a second. Credits can't be traded. I got, my brain is kind of farting out here. That's tough. So, okay. So let's put this into perspective first. Mobile game needs players to pay money to keep game alive. Free to play does not grow server farms on trees. Like, you got to pay. So what I'm thinking is that each player is responsible for themselves, and any money, like not money, sorry, credits that they receive, they have to earn via in-game methods, whether it's playing and shooting things and getting cash rewards, or the cash shop and buying a
mission running
treasure trove of
the biggest
credits.
one I've seen, I think.
Mission running. Okay, yeah. I was watching a stream on YouTube not too long ago. It wasn't a live stream, it was recorded, but it was a guy for 5 hours just doing missions, just making money. And I was just like, okay.
Dang.
So I skipped through this 5-hour video, and I didn't see a whole lot of change. So grindy much? I mean, now
Yeah.
here's something that I
It
wanted to
always
touch
grind.
on.
There's
Well,
always grind.
here's something that I wanted to touch on that I didn't get a chance to because we moved on. But I'm coming back to it because we were talking about currency. This game is a mobile game in scope. So we had a beta for a month. Now let's think about what that means. The company released the beta. Probably didn't give you any kind of time increase or free stuff. Didn't say test all these things. They just said play the game from the start to the finish in 30 days. So we did probably not get a good picture of what a up to speed, got it going, humming really nice snapshot of Second Galaxy is going to look like. We got the scramble version where everybody's trying to get stuff and just this guy A is grinding, guy B is doing nonstop PvP, guy C is trying to figure out how the corporation system works, and guy D is hiding in his station because he's afraid of undocking because guy B blew him up 50 times. So yeah, so we probably got an idea, but it was such a short beta that I don't think that we actually got to see what's possible. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what is going to happen when the game is 6 months old and where players are at in that respect.
Definitely.
Are they still going to be grinding for credits, or are they going to be logging on once a week to maintain sovereignty? Like, we don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know how sovereignty works because...
Well, that's
from
going to
what
be
I
another
heard-
episode.
Yeah. And I really don't think anybody got into it in the beta.
I
So
think
that'll
some
be a lot of
people
speculation there.
I think some people actually did, and I just want to keep talking about this. We have to move on. I saw
Yeah.
some stuff
Gotta get
about
back
how
to the
war.
currency.
I saw some stuff about how war works, which we're going to talk about next week. So be there. Apparently, war is about a 48-hour period. It's not just nonstop like in Eve. So war, not
nice.
just like Eve, which is interesting. And actually,
Woo!
war just changed in Eve, so it's
Oh,
nothing like it used to be anymore. Now you have to shoot a special citadel and anyway. Okay.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Iridium.
Okay.
Iridium, we're moving. Come with me, Seiden,
Yeah.
into the second word. What's Iridium?
Honestly, we don't really know much.
Poggers, he doesn't know. Everybody pog in chat.
No,
That's
well,
hilarious.
we do know some, but
We got him. We got
it's
him.
The thanks, much appreciated, much appreciated, man. Love you too.
Yeah, you know it.
But so Iridium is basically probably the microtransaction currency, which is why we haven't seen much of it. So I know it's used for skipping cooldowns on moving your home station. I really don't know much of what it's used for, just because it was so hard to acquire in the beta.
Okay.
So-
Is this going to be a currency that you can use to buy things in the game, or is this to buy cosmetics, or like what are we looking at?
Yeah, it'll probably be something similar to the utilization of Aurum/Plex in EVE Online.
Okay, so skill injection and turning into money?
Yeah, and
Oof.
buying cosmetics and, like I said, moving your home station. Because I know moving your home station, it has a cooldown period of anywhere between like half an hour and several hours, and you can skip that directly with Iridium.
Okay,
And
so
I know that's a pretty important mechanic.
yeah. Well, let's talk about buying money for a second. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about Eve for a second because I think this is where Eve really shines. Is
Oh, definitely.
their entire economy is something that people have been studying for over a decade. The Eve economy is weird because it's a microcosm of real life economy. It simulates so many things, but it also is greatly exaggerated in some places, and it's not quite played enough in others. But let's take this one facet of the economy, and that is making printing money, basically. In Eve, in Eve, there's only a few ways that you can literally print money, and that is bounties and mission rewards. That's it. That is the only way that you can get money out of nothing in Eve Online. Now, people say, but Siigari, you can buy Plex and you can sell it to another player and get money. Aha! But that's where you're wrong, because you sold it to another player for their money. So they gave you what they got from killing things and getting bounties, and then sold that money to you, basically, or gave that money to you in return for a card that does nothing. Well, it does a lot of things, but I digress. The fact is that they have a very tight lid on where those faucets come from. You've got faucets, you've got sinks. Sinks are things like tax that just disappears,
and skill books.
And skill books, where things that you buy from NPC vendors, or other sort of fees, miscellaneous fees and stuff like that. So here is my great concern, and I say this with the most concern. Xiwen Games, if you make it so that players can print money for cash, you are doing it wrong, okay?
Yeah. You're gonna
Please do
much.
not do that. You'll kill the game, because then a player that starts the game 3 months into the game and does missions will not be able to afford anything. They just won't.
Yeah.
Because the player market in this game is player run. And if okay.
Actually, well, that topic in Second Galaxy brings us to third currency. Because, like I said before, credits cannot be traded between players.
What?
But the currency that can be traded between players is Gala.
Oh, no.
So all player
it's
transactions.
Auction money.
Yeah, exactly.
Dear.
All player transactions in this game are done with Gala.
He got us back, guys, for not knowing quite what Iridium does. That Gala was just a shot through the heart. Holy cow. Oh, no. So you're telling me that I use my credits to buy things in game, but when I want to trade to players, I am only going to receive this fake money that I can only receive for other players.
Yeah, which honestly may actually end up being more valuable than credits.
Oof. Oh man, so now we got 3 credit systems. Like what?
Yeah, so okay, equipment and chips and stuff in this is kind of complicated. I don't completely understand how it works, but it looks like we have like different techs. So like in EVE Online, how you have Tech 1, Tech 2, and some things are Tech 3. It's similar in Second Galaxy, where they have Tech 1, Tech 2, and Tech 3 pretty indiscriminately.
You can see it on the screen right now. They've got Tech 1 and Tech 2 items there.
But there's also what looks like basically rarities in like RPGs, MMOs.
They're mixed in, so like common, uncommon, rare, epic.
Yeah, the colors.
Oh,
yeah, so
fancy.
That are separate from Tech 2.
Oh, we're getting a layer of depth, you guys. Well, actually, hang on a sec. No. That layer of depth, hang on. No. There's that in Eve 2.
Did I mess up now?
No, we got officer modules.
Yeah.
And Dead Space.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost had me. Except you
but
can't
it's
craft
just more
those.
obvious in this game.
Okay,
yeah. And I know they drop in this game.
Needs more purple, right, everybody? Needs more purple.
Needs more purple.
Okay. So Gala is going to be the player currency. Iridium is going to be the cash shop currency. And credits, I think credits are going to to be money. Oof,
and
that's a lot of money. Dude, I'm going to have to get a checkbook for this game.
Well, I mean, you already use your credit card for this game. So.
Oh. Just swipe. What were you going to say?
Oh yeah, so where I was going with different like rarities and stuff is with credits, you can only buy the common, the gray ones. So be that ships or modules.
Okay.
And so everything else, the higher techs and stuff, you would buy from other players with Gala.
Okay. Let's move to questions from the community.
Okay.
We've got a little time left here. we'll ask some questions and see what the community has to say. If you guys have any questions, throw them out there. And we're excited. If you guys haven't already seen some of the messages.
Someone just said in chat that the fourth is faction loyalty credits. So similar to loyalty and Eve for mission runnings. Cool.
That makes sense.
Noda.
Okay, so it's not like a currency that you consider like trade. It's just like this thing that you have.
Well, I mean, like loyalty points in Eve. Yeah. I assume it's similar.
Well, loyalty points convert to credits. That's the point.
Okay. So Uzuma Gaming in chat.
Yeah.
He's asking, would spawning location be the same for everyone?
No, you're gonna spawn right inside of somebody else's ship, and it's gonna be sexy times, right from the get-go.
Oh yeah. So, basically, from my understanding, your spawn point is set by which faction you choose. So.
Well, you're starting Galaxy, right?
Yeah, starting Galaxy and starting skill set. So if you choose Oracle Empire, you'll be dropped right in the middle of Oracle Empire space. Okay. And then from there you can go wherever.
So there you go. So you'll probably start in a station or in some instance somewhere.
Just like Eve.
Just like Eve, yeah. Panda Boomon asks, are there different security levels, safe zones, and whatnot? Yes.
Just like
Eve. Oh my gosh, yeah, they've got high sec, low sec, and then I think it's called conquerable space or sovereign space or something. I don't think it's no, but they don't call it null sec. What do they call it?
But it is.
It is.
Just like Eve.
It is just like Eve. We're trying to say what it is.
Yeah, although that actually does bring to another point where wormhole space in this game is a lot different than in Eve.
Yeah, so what I understand, wormhole space takes you somewhere outside of the area, but it's still in the same network of galaxies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if we're going to translate this to Eve speak, because galaxies is complicated, imagine the Eve map and wormhole space is off to the side. Pretty much.
Wow.
But can you get back into the systems? Like can you jump into a wormhole system and then get back into like New Eden space using jump gates or what?
You just basically go back where you came, go back through the same wormhole you came.
Is it a self-contained system?
Yeah. It's basically an instant dungeon, honestly. It's an instance.
Yes, Panda Boomon said wormhole space, definitely. We all saw the ads.
Yeah, so wormhole space in EVE Online is basically anarchy. There's no order. You can't even see who's in the same system with
Chaos sectors. Ooh, really?
Oh.
Fancy.
Chaos sectors?
I like it.
Yeah.
So EVE Online recently made it so that local is delayed. So if you jump into a system in nullsec, the only way somebody can know if you're there is if they see you on D-scan or if you were at the gate and saw them jump in. That's right.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very nice. So it makes some great gameplay interactions for PvP now.
That sounds fun.
It is. Let's take a look. What is this game on? Infused Gaming asks. This is going to be on mobile, so Android and iOS. And they're also releasing a PC client, which is really exciting.
Yeah, and if you don't play it on the PC client or don't like the PC client, you can also download it on various emulators.
Right. So if you want to, if the PC client blows like monkey poo-poo.
And multi-boxing with emulators is going to be fun.
Oh no. I didn't even think about that.
And Uzuma Gaming, this doesn't have PI for now. I don't know if they'll add PI later.
Now hang on. You're trying to skip past that very important. That's probably going to be a story for next time or maybe even later. What? Yeah. Shoot, do I even want to bring it up? So in Eve, you can't multi-box free accounts. Well, you can, but it's complicated, and we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. They don't let you run 2 free accounts on the same computer.
Yeah, so what people do is they have like 30 accounts paid for or plexed or however they're paying for their accounts and run 30 accounts to do the same thing. Usually because of multicasting and CCP rules, that doesn't mean that you have 30 ships just warp to somebody and then you're all shooting the person to death. That's not usually how it works. But it's really great for mining and stuff like that, which is really low pay attention. Like you can check once every few minutes and see what's going on. I worry that especially in an emulated environment, this could turn into a 150-man corporation of one person.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude. And 150, okay, that's maybe a little over the top. I might be going a little to the extreme. But just for real, though, let's think about that. What? and this is an emulated game, so sitting in front of your computer running AutoHotkey or some other macro inputter is too easy. It's almost like the game is begging you to do it, especially if you have to grind.
Not to mention that most emulators that allow you to run multiple instances have a sync button
That's
that mirrors everything. So you can just be running 4 accounts and you only ever click on one account and everything else just follows.
It was super popular for gacha releases. People would start rolling multiple accounts to see what the best account would be, and then they'd go with that one, and if they didn't get anything good, then they just make new accounts like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, don't make me feel bad right before we go. Oh no. The tears are streaming.
Yeah.
All right. Does game cross system? Yes, we believe so.
Yeah,
and we think we hope for the most part that it's just going to be one server. That means everybody in the world is going to play on one server. CCP interestingly made it so that originally players from China only had their own server. And it was called Serenity, which turned into a hot mess. Everybody in Serenity's nullsec systems or chaos systems, which would be Second Galaxy speak, all napped up. They all non-aggression. They all non-aggression because they were making tons of money and they didn't have to fight anybody because it was fun, because they liked grinding. I really don't even have insight into what that would be like because wow. But imagine this game now coming out, and unlike Serenity, now China has the whole world to play with. And not being xenophobic, because I like everybody, I think China might actually stomp the crap out of us because it's all that pent-up Eve frustration ready to go against the world, you know? Like, oh, no. Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, there's a lot of corporations in Second Galaxy already that are talking about the napping up so that, like, English-speaking corporations and, you know, like, all the players that can understand each other joining forces to fight the Chinese. And I'm thinking, we are not anywhere near that point yet. The game's not even close to out. We don't know what's going to happen. And as much as I'd like to say, yeah, let's join forces, holy crap, please, let's all be friends. Like, eventually, because people that play the game from China are going to be able to speak some English and we'll be able to understand them. As a matter of fact, I've got a great guy in my Eve corporation that is Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
And he speaks fluent English. Like, he's amazing. He's actually he's one of the lead recruiters in my corporation. Marior, if you're watching this, you're amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So don't let the cultural or racial boundaries separate you from goals in the game. If you get napped up, fight who you want to fight. Don't fight because you're fighting them just because they're Chinese. Like, please do not let this game become that stereotype. I hope that does not happen.
You claim your space and
then defend
whoever, whoever comes in.
That's right. Izumi, with all the questions, just like there are pirate faction ships, Navy faction ships, trig ships, etc., what are all the ship classes? Frigate, destroyer, cruiser, battle. Oh yeah, there are battle cruisers and battleships, and I think capital ships.
Yeah, they've shown off some capital ships.
We've got it right here.
If you want to pull up the video, there's a video with that showed off. Yep.
All right, there it is. This was from Beldanius, I think.
I think that one's a battleship. That one is a NEF, I believe. Well, aka Kalbari.
Look at those small ships next to it. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So actually, okay. Go back a second.
Okay.
So if you look at the ships above it, to show the scale, those ships that are little pluses, those are battleships.
Yeah, those
are battleships. So I think we're looking at possibly a super capital here. I don't know if this game.
It has to be a super
differentiates
capital
between
because
capitals
there
and
is
super
a
capitals.
staircase that leads inside to the kitchen where they may go to
Yes.
eat.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, because only super capitals have kitchens.
You guys heard it here first. Super capital with
Yeah.
the kitchen right here.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And then a couple seconds later, they show off another one. That's an MR. I mean,
Oh.
Oracle Empire.
We didn't show that. Hang on.
Capital.
There
Yeah,
it is.
that
there
one.
it is.
Yeah.
I was making the warp
So-
sounds.
Yes.
That's what warp drive sounds like, everybody.
So we've seen a couple capital ships and, well, one capital ship and what's probably a super capital. So, and I honestly have no idea what that is. And that's the
Wow.
other picture
Wow,
of
look at those
the
damaged
capital ship.
numbers.
And yeah. So, dang, I think I just saw like a 5-digit damage number.
Oof. Yeah, that was a
Dang.
5-digit dang. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
they
you're
were getting
1,300
huge
damage
damage
from your
numbers here.
frigate isn't looking like anything now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's,
So yeah, we get some pretty big ships.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, for the other question about the pirate navy ships or whatever,
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. I know we have a very enigmatic nation that's the USSH that no one was able to start as in the beta.
The Jove.
I don't know. Yeah, that
They were a rumor.
yeah, but they exist. So I'm thinking that may fill the role of pirate faction ships.
Oh, fancy.
So I don't know.
Love me
So
some
say
pirate bonuses.
maybe flying a USSH ship will take the certificates for all of the 4 different nations.
Oh,
So that would be
Pog.
pretty cool.
That would be
honestly.
awesome. That would be awesome. And yeah. And then you combine pay to win and GG. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Gosh,
joking.
jeez, so many questions. Thank you for all these questions, by the way. Actually, 'Cause these are good.
Let's see a question from somebody else. Izumi is monopolizing the questions. Do we have any other questions?
Well, I don't think anybody else has been asking any questions, honestly.
Okay, let's give an oof.
yeah,
ask the question, Izumi. Go.
I haven't seen. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, Izumi still has 3 questions that we haven't answered. So, let's talk about, so we go with Sig, and he has a capital ship. Is there docking in space with the lead ship?
We don't
so,
know.
are you, like, dock into,
Can you dock into the
the
capital?
capital ship?
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it,
That would be
because
super
you don't
difficult
have
to
that.
program.
And there are also no, pods in this. It's just
What?
you are in your ship. There's no
Uh-oh.
pods. So your ship blows up and you're dead.
Oh, well,
You have
actually,
no pod.
let's talk about that for a freaking quick second because forgot.
Okay.
What we've heard, and I saw Noda lurking around. In PvP, if you lose your ship, you lose your ship.
Yes.
And it's gone, and you have to replace it. But there's insurance. In PvE, if you lose your ship, then 'tis but a scratch. Apparently, I think you get like a
lot of
ding.
the time. I think in mission running, it's your ship doesn't get destroyed even if it gets blown up. You're just back with your ship, and in your driver's license tests, your
Driver's
ship
license
is fine
test.
if it gets destroyed. Yeah, that is what it is going to be called.
16
from now
years
on.
old again.
Yep.
Okay,
Getting
so
your first spaceship license.
well, hold up. So what about loot? If I blow up a player in PvP and they drop
Ooh.
loot, do I get their loot? Like, do they drop loot, or is it just fancy kill mail?
That's interesting.
I'm
Honestly,
asking a
I don't
question
know.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone who played the beta wants to answer that,
We don't know. Now we're looking for answers. What is going on?
by
Oh
Mario.
no,
Mario.
we'll have to find out, and we'll release that next week. One more question. We got time for one more question.
Okay.
Let's wait for. All right, we're gonna last question after this line. Go. Can't be a copy of a question that was
Okay.
previously asked. Yeah, we're going for one more question because I feel like
Yes.
answering one more. This has been a really
And-
great stream.
Yeah.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah.
Stream
Yep.
podcast.
I had a lot of fun.
I did too. Nobody. 5,
Nobody.
4. What are mission
Mission
payout
payout
tiers?
tiers.
Oof.
No idea.
No idea. Yeah, we can't play the game.
Higher
We don't know.
tiers pay money.
Why are
Actually-
2 people that haven't played this game on the podcast? That's my
Actually,
That's
I
my
do know one
question.
thing.
Okay, go.
I know they're basically main story missions. It's not like in EVE Online where you get a mission from an agent that really doesn't have anything to do with anything, and you just take a certain tier mission. There's actually a progression where I don't know how the story works, and honestly, from what I've seen, the story is really crappy.
Well, of course it is.
But
they said it was
yeah,
crappy in Langrisser too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it acts as the progression of a story. So you can't really go back and play easier missions. And then I know there's what's called subplots, which are side quests essentially.
Subplot? Is this like
they
anime?
call it a subplot.
This
is
is
what
not,
they call it.
This is not anime plot though.
No, this is not anime, sadly.
Oh, so we don't get the anime plots.
So yeah, there are side missions basically that I really never saw any videos with anyone running those, so I don't know how they work, but I assume they would probably work similar to missions in Eve.
That's pretty cool. So it's not just rescue the damsel 5 times in a row. It progresses.
Yeah.
And then once you beat it, I assume
it's gone.
Well, but
and
then
you've
how do
done
you do
that
more
mission.
What?
You do the next mission.
But there can only be so many missions. We've learned this from every RPG ever.
Yeah, so I don't know how that'll work when you get to the end of the missions. Maybe this just goes up
and
to,
then it turns into greater rifts. Greater Nephilim rifts. Good luck. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I mean, then you just go rat and nullsec. Yeah, so...
There it is.
I'm not really sure how the missions work. Or maybe that's when the main plot ends. Then they do the subplots. And just those are cycling missions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll continue to put PvE content out.
Well, I'm excited for the game. If it ever comes out. When it comes out. It'll come out. Yeah. I know it will.
It will come out. It will come out.
It will come out.
They'll have a lot of angry people if it doesn't come out.
I believe they will, because we somehow managed to recruit how many people in a week? I think we're sitting at almost
like
100.
We have like 170 in the Discord.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're over 110 in the corporation.
That's 110. That's Northwest Corporation, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, okay, unless I'm totally forgetting all the numbers. Let me check.
Wow. Oh, he's checking. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm probably totally messing up on the numbers. Okay, 93 in the corporation.
That's still pretty great. All right.
Yeah,
well, let's wrap up episode 1 of the main frequency. Just like Eve, you guys. Thank you.
Like Eve.
Thank you so much for being a part of our podcast. We just started, so we don't have any sponsors or anything to shout out to, but I will shout out to my viewers because you guys were here. Thank you for being here. Listeners that are listening to this podcast, thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next week for some more stuff. We brought up some stuff that we'll be bringing up next week, and hopefully you guys are here again. Join the Second Galaxy Discord if you guys didn't get a chance, and be sure to check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/mainfrequency. Ask all of your questions on there for next week, and we'll pick out the best questions to answer. I'm Siigari.
I'm Seiden.
And we will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.